Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest in our series of Oxford Economics podcasts. I'm Gabriel Stein, Director Asset Management Services at Oxford Economics, and with me today is Marion Amiot, European economist, and we're going to talk about the latest industrial production figures in some European countries and what they mean for the outlook for 2016 and perhaps about Eurozone monetary policy and a few other things as well. But to begin with, Marion, this week we had industrial output numbers from Germany, France, and Italy, and also the UK, but we're talking only about the Eurozone. And they were not only bad, but they were worse than expected. And if we look at the trends, we can see that actually French and Italian industrial production has been trending down for quite some time. German has been stronger. What's going on? What is this all about?
Well, I think on the one hand, this reflects a broader trend that the global economy is slowing, and it has had an impact on the Eurozone as well. But yes, you can still highlight two main factors to the slowdown in industrial production in December in the Eurozone. So first, there was this temperature effect. So the month of December was much milder than usually. So energy production was down by quite a bit.
Okay.
And then the second factor is more country specific. So in Germany, exports were quite bad. So I think they went down by about minus 1.5% over the month of December. In Italy, we had a bank holiday, which is not accounted for in the data, so this might have an effect on industrial production as well. And in France, we can see that the impact of the terrorist attacks on the economy was actually quite significant, because according to the latest national account numbers, consumption subtracted about 0.2% to GDP in the last quarter. So you can see that it had an impact on car production, for example. So I would say in this way it's a bit country specific and not just like a broader trend.
But okay, so we're saying what you're saying is there are specific reasons in each country. Now, of course, the Italian bank holiday, yes, that's a point if it's not calendar adjusted. Of course, one day off comes up to about, I think, 3%. It's if the numbers are not adjusted for that. And of course, the French terrorist attack, that's one thing. But perhaps I can say, well, both of those countries, nevertheless, we're seeing industrial production trending down. And meanwhile, Germany, we're saying, well, this was due to weak export figures and of course, the mild weather. But nevertheless, that's worrying as well, because the weak export figures are another sign of the weaker world economy. Isn't that the case? And of course, Germany's biggest export market is the rest of the Eurozone. So is there a danger? I think what I'm aiming at is there a danger that by trying to find specific explanations, we forget to look at a broader picture, broader development?
I think you're quite right in saying that. I mean, it's not only country specific, and there's definitely, I mean, we can see in the data that the global risk of an economic slowdown has had an effect. So if you look at the couple of data numbers we had in January, sentiment at the European level is down as well, and the fact that the financial markets are also starting to realize that maybe the picture is not as great as they thought previously. All this has an impact on the real economy in the end, right? So as a result, we've also revised our expectation for Eurozone growth this year. So we had it previously at 1.8%, I think last quarter. Now we see that global growth has an impact on the Eurozone, and so we see Eurozone growth more around 1.6% this year. And I think you can't really deny that there is an effect of the global picture on the Eurozone and the individual countries.
It's of course perhaps the more relevant for the Eurozone, since much of the rebalancing that we've seen on the financial side in the Eurozone has been based on having a large and widening current account surplus. Of course, if the rest of the world is not receptive to that, this rebounds against the Eurozone, because what it then boils down to excess savings not finding an outlet, and that means much weaker growth. But what does this then mean if we take a further step back and look at an even broader view? The Eurozone was one of the areas which we thought would surprise potentially on the upside in 2016. Is there any potential left for that? Is there anything in your view which hints at that perhaps the latest data were too pessimistic and in fact there's some good news coming up?
I'm not sure there's much more space for upside. Well, I mean, it also depends on what the ECB does, right? Because obviously the ECB will react to current trends, maybe the real economy, but also the recent plunge in oil prices. So as such, we don't think the ECB won't act in the next conference, but that they will announce a further deposit rate cut of about 20 basis points. And I mean, this is really in line with what other central banks are doing as well. I mean, today we had the Swedish central bank cutting deposit rates as well. And we also see that financial markets have started pricing in this move from the ECB. I think the German bond yield was down to 13 basis points today, so it's quite it is already having an impact. And so by giving further monetary expansionary policy, the ECB will help support the economic recovery. I mean, it's still okay. The Eurozone is expected to grow less than last year, but it's still than we expected last year, but it's still more than 2015, because 2015 will be about 1.5% growth, and 2016 about 1.6. So it's still a phase of recovery and economic acceleration in the Eurozone, which is beneficial for the rest of the world, partly, I say.
Yes, well, there's also, of course, my special interest, broad money, Eurozone broad money growth. Yes, there was a dip in December, but it looked healthy. I must confess, to some extent, I'm probably overplaying the pessimism here in order to provoke you a little bit. However, you did mention the European Commission's business surveys and output expectations in manufacturing, which tend to lead industrial production by about 2 to 3 months. They're a little bit all over the place right now, aren't they? Spanish is up, but Italian, French, and German are considerably weaker. So it may well be that that what we've seen, there may be some sogginess going forward a few months.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, it's the French orders which are up. I mean, which would make sense because you had the impact of the terrorist attacks and now it's looking better. And actually, on the French economy, all the indicators are quite reassuring because business sentiment is improving, order volatility is decreasing. You see that firms are more willing to invest. So I think, I would say in the French case, it's quite positive. And then in Spain and in Germany, it's this impact that the global picture is a bit less good than we expected previously, and so of course it has an impact on expected manufacturing production. And I mean, those expectations are also a bit in line with the recent PMI data we have seen, which was quite weak in January. So it's overall, you're right, the picture is a bit less
buoyant,
exactly, than previously.
Now, you said the ECB is going to cut its deposit rate further. We think they will cut by another 20 basis points. But what we've seen so far from other countries is that the main impact of an interest rate in negative territory comes through on the exchange rate, and also that the more countries are in this game, the less of an impact there is. So, how much? Well, let me put it this way. Will 20 basis points be enough? Will it have enough of an impact to turn things around, or are we likely to see the ECB go even deeper?
I would say in the short term, so I mean, until the next monetary policy decision, 20 basis points are likely to be enough, but it's also the possibility that the ECB could do more, which will have an impact. So I think they will also signal the fact that they are willing to do more if the economy deteriorates, or if they think that their targeted inflation is still too far away. So it's a bit the fact that you point out that you can do more will just, I think, have enough of an effect. And I think you're right in saying that the main channel of the negative interest rates is probably through the exchange rate. And this should be quite beneficial for the euro because the exchange rate has trended up quite a bit in the past few days. So I think it's around 1.13. So it will not really benefit exports in this sense. So if the ECB does more, it will certainly help the current account of the euro area, I would say.
So we're waiting for the ECB to cut rates and for Mario Draghi to tell us that they are ready to do more, and believe him, it will be enough, right?
Exactly, another Draghi moment.
Very good. Marion, thank you very much. And thank you everyone for listening. And of course, as ever, we will be back with more podcasts in coming weeks.